Hello, I'm Aniruddha Prithul from University of Nevada, Reno. Today I'm presenting our paper Embodied Third-Person Virtual Locomotion using a single depth camera. First, I'll talk about the commonly used locomotion techniques in virtual reality. Then I'll present our technique and the result of our user study. Finally, I'll talk about some of the limitations of our work and possible future research direction. Locomotion in virtual reality is often limited by the available physical space. For this reason, many VR applications incorporate some sort of artificial locomotion technique or ALT. Common example of which are teleportation, walking in place, head tilt, etc. However, most ALTs are designed for VR experiences from the first person point of view. VR experiences from the third person view are rare. Unlike first person, third person experiences also have to decide on how the camera follows the avatar. Commonly used solutions to which are follow cameras and world fixed cameras. Lack of presence and embodiment is often cited as a reason for avoiding third person VR experiences. However, third person experiences can help in creating a greater bond with the avatar as well as allow the user to have higher spatial awareness. In our paper, we present a third person locomotion technique that combines head tilt based locomotion with real time body tracking. This is done with the help of an Azure Kinect sensor. Our solution lets user make use of real walking for performing room scale traversal. Larger distances can be traversed through head tilt. Full control of avatar's upper body is retained throughout the experience. We performed a 1:2 design user study with 14 participants. The two third-person locomotion techniques were traditional controller-based technique and our embodied locomotion interface. Users were divided into two groups to counter the order effect. Each user performed both tests with at least 24 hours gap between the sessions. In both cases, the users were asked to follow a path from start to finish while popping balloons and jumping over obstacles. Along with the collected performance matrix, each user filled out a usability questionnaire, embodiment questionnaire, and simulator sickness questionnaire. First, we analyzed the task performance results. A one-way repeated measures MANOVA found a statistically significant difference between locomotion techniques on the linear combination of the dependent variables. Further, univariate test found statistically significant difference for total time, targets hit, and obstacles jumped over. There was no difference for percent of time spent on track. Next, for the qualitative results, we performed Wilcoxon signed rank t-test. We found statistically significant difference with accuracy, efficiency, learnability, and likability. For VR sickness, no statistically significant difference could be measured between the two methods with one-way repeated measures MANOVA. On the other hand, the embodiment questionnaire revealed a significantly higher level of ownership, agency and motor control, as well as embodiment illusion with our technique. To sum it all up, controller was found to result in better performance, which is in agreement with earlier findings. Familiarity and the significantly less effort required to operate a controller might be the reason for this. Controller also had higher usability scores. Again, familiarity can have contributed to it. Also, our experiment combined both locomotion and environmental interaction. So while using the embodied locomotion technique, the users had to move their limbs to interact. With the controller, it was a simple button press. We also found some users struggling with the embodied locomotion technique because of the latency introduced by the Kinect sensor, especially while jumping. Finally, both techniques resulted in low simulator sickness scores. Unlike earlier findings where controller was found to cause VR sickness, we didn't find evidence for that. This could be due to the follow camera setup we implemented, which was identical between both locomotion techniques. The avatar thus might have worked as a rest frame for both cases and caused low amount of simulator sickness. As for limitations, due to the pandemic situation, the number of participants were relatively modest in our study. When it comes to the limitation of our technique, we should mention that it only works with non-IR based headsets. This is because the Kinect's IR sensor can get confused when there are other IR emitters in the room. And finally, although our technique is capable of locomotion with real walking, we didn't design our experiment to test it. This can be further investigated in the future. We'd also like to investigate the effect of point of view on VR sickness. That was my presentation. Thank you.